We are ready to get started with our weight training class today. If you're joining us on YouTube, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And at the end of the video, make sure you pop over to functionalbliss.us, all our class offerings, and consider donating to support our work. All right, we're ready to get started. We're gonna start feet hip width apart for a gentle warm up. Just kind of start swinging your arms side to side, loosening your back up, checking in, making sure everything's feeling okay today. If that feels good, go ahead and start lifting your heel, turning a little further, going a little farther. Let those arms swing out a little higher. Nice. 2 more to each side. And then we're going to come back to stillness. You're going to swing your arms in and out, crossing one arm over the top and then the other arm. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to move into our arm rotation, some nice big circles. And then go the other direction. While you're warming up, make sure you're checking in, paying attention to your body. Is there anything that's tight, anything that hurts or pinches? Because you may need to make some adaptations and allowances for where you are today. All right, bring that into stillness. From here, we're going to warm up our elbows, make sure they're loose and ready. And then go the other way. And then moving on to your wrists. Beautiful. And then just squeeze the fingers in and out. Make sure everything's ready. When you're gripping those weights, you want to make sure your hands are warmed up a little too. All right, from here, moving down to our lower body. So starting with our hip rotations. And you can have your feet in at hip width apart or further out shoulder width or even further than that, whatever is comfortable for you. Again, you're just kind of warming things up, loosening up, making sure you don't have anything you got to watch out for. Go the other way. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move on to our knees. Bring your feet in nice and close together for this one. Start with just bobbing your knees forward and back. And if everything feels good there, go ahead and add circles in one direction. If the circles don't feel good, go back to just forward and back. But if you're going in one direction, go ahead and stop, go the other direction. Beautiful. And then to finish off with our ankles, reach out, put a hand on the chair, the table, whatever's next to you, or just pick a foot up. You're going to spin your ankle in one direction. And then the other direction. And then switch feet. And go the other direction. Beautiful. All right, we are ready to get started. For today, you're probably going to want a lighter and a heavier set of dumbbells. I'm going to be focused on my medium and my heavy weight. Whatever weight that is for you is fine. And if you only have one set, you can still do all the exercises. If it feels easy and like you might want something a little heavier than what you have available, just try to speed it up and do it a little faster so you're working the muscles more. All right, our first exercise is going to be a dumbbell deadlift. For this one, it's a lot of large muscle movement. So I'm going to go with my heavier weights. I'm going to start standing nice and tall, feet hip width apart. I'm going to go down as far as I comfortably can, keeping my back nice and flat. But for today, we're going to come up really slow. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 coming up. So it'll be down, 1, 2, 3, making sure you're coming up nice and slow. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. And if your back starts to curl when you get down that far, just go to where you can keep your back flat. Hinge at your hips. Keep your knees soft. You're halfway there already. Coming up nice and slow is going to really make sure you're fully engaging those muscles. If you don't have as heavy a weight as you think you might want for this, you can go a little faster. And time, beautiful. All right, from there, we're gonna do a push out. So it's sort of like a push up, but standing. I'm gonna go down to my medium weight. I'm gonna start holding it goblet style in the center of my chest. I'm gonna push out and up on an angle. Now, again, to slow it down and make sure we're engaging the muscle, I'm gonna push out and then pull back. 1, 2, 3, nice and slow. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Turn sideways so you guys can see. Out, 1, 2, 3. You got it. Beautiful. While you're doing this one, you want to make sure you're keeping your belly sucked in nice and tight. Imagine you're pulling that belly button back towards your spine, keeping that core engaged. So you're getting a more of a full body workout instead of just your upper body. This one's actually a really good back and core workout as well as arms. More than halfway there already. Almost done, you got it. And time. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a tricep extension with a calf raise. Now, you might do medium, you might do heavy weight with this one, whatever is gonna work for you. But you're gonna hold whichever weight you choose over your head, lower it down, you're gonna come up nice and slow, 1, 2, 3, and then at the top, add your calf raise in. So lower it down, 1, 2, 3, and calf raise. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Really keep those elbows squeezed in close to your head. And still pulling that belly button back towards your spine, keeping that core nice and tight. Looking good. Almost there. And time. All right, from here, we're gonna grab 2 weights and we're gonna go into a bicep curl plus an overhead press. So for this one, you're gonna curl it up, turn, press it overhead, bring it back down, turn, and then all the way to your starting position. If you want to add a little extra lower body engagement, you can do the whole thing in a squat hold. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. So we have curl into press and then back down. If you're doing it in that squat hold, make sure it's one that you can sustain for a full minute. So you don't have to squat super deep if that's going to be hard on your knees or your hips. Just enough to keep your legs and glutes engaged. Nice. Take the time to pivot your hands so that they are facing in towards your body for the overhead press. And then turning for the bicep curl. Holding it in that position is going to work your muscles a little differently than if you kept them sideways the whole time. Give you a little bit better overall workout. And time. Excellent. All right. From here, we're going to do one that's going to be a little more challenging for a lot of people. We're going to do a reverse fly. So this is going to really work the back. We're going to be in that same position we used for our deadlift with our nice flat back, hips hinged back. We're going to do one arm at a time. So starting on your left, you're bringing it up and then down. But to really work it, we're going to add in that slow lowering it. So we're going to come up, 1, 2, 3, coming down. You got it. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Up, 1, 2, 3. Keep a nice flat back. 1, 2, 3. And keep a soft bend in your elbow. You want to keep your head and neck all in a straight line with your spine. So you're going to be looking down towards the floor. And if you find that this one is really difficult, as it is for a lot of people, you can always adjust your weight, go down a little, or even put the weight down and do it empty hand just to get the motion. If you find it puts a lot of strain on your back, you can come up a lot and do the same motion. Works your muscles a little bit differently, but it's still focused on the back. Almost there. And time. Set that weight down, shake it out, and then we got to do the other arm. So this time, same thing, but on the right arm. 1 minute on the clock. Let's go. Up, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Still keeping that head and neck in a straight line with your back. Still keeping a soft bend in the elbow. Keep breathing. Halfway there. And again, you can adjust how far you're leaning over to take care of your back. If your back's starting to get fatigued, straighten up a little bit. 10 seconds to go. And time. Beautiful. First set done. Go ahead and set those weights to the side. Grab some water. And then we have 2 sets to go. All right, bring it back in. We are back to that deadlift. So go ahead and grab whatever weight you have for that one. I go for my heavier ones for the deadlift. We have 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. So down, up, nice and slow with that 3 count. Hinging at the hips, nice flat back, soft knees. Let your lower body do most of the work here. You'll feel it some in your back as well, but you want to be pushing through your heels so that you're activating your glutes, your hamstrings, that whole lower posterior chain. 15 more seconds, almost there. And time, beautiful. All right, up next, we have that push out. So grabbing whatever weight is appropriate for you for that exercise, holding it in the middle of your chest, almost like a standing push-up. Here we go. Out, and then 1, 2, 3, back in. Beautiful. Making sure you're sucking your belly button in, keeping it pulled back towards your spine. And keep breathing. You got it. This one's great for your back and your shoulders. And your core if you're keeping that belly pulled in tight. Almost there. And time. All right, from here we have that tricep extension with the calf raise. 1 minute, here we go. So lower it down nice and slow, come up, calf raise. 1, 2, 3, up, and calf raise. 1, 2, 3, up, and calf raise. Beautiful. Still keeping your belly sucked in nice and tight. Keeping that core engaged. Keeping your elbows pulled in close to your head. Looking good. Almost there. And time. Beautiful. All right, next up, bicep curl into the overhead press. Adding in the squat hold if you want to keep your lower body engaged at the same time. 1 minute. Here we go. Beautiful. Curl it and then press it. And then lower it all the way back down. You got it. Nice gentle squat hold, just enough to keep your legs engaged, but sustainable for a full minute. And keep breathing. If it gets to be too much, you can always straighten those legs, adjust your weight as needed. Just keep moving. All movement is good movement as long as it doesn't hurt. So you're all good. And time. All right, next up, we have those reverse flies. We're gonna start with just our left arm and then go from there. Remember, adjust to take care of your back, how far you bend over. Up and then down slowly. 1 minute, here we go. Up, 1, 2, 3, coming down. Soft bend in the elbow. Nice flat back. Use your other hand for support. Keep breathing, you're halfway there. 15 more seconds. And time. Beautiful. Set that one down, shake that arm out a little bit, and then we got to do the other side. All right, here we go. 1 minute on the clock. Up and then down nice and slow. Still hinging at the hips. Keeping the back nice and flat. Soft bend in the elbow. And remember, you can always adjust, go down to a lower weight, put the weight down altogether. You can do this one empty hand, no problem. Still just lowering it down nice and slow, keeping the muscles tight the whole way. You're still going to get good muscle engagement, even doing it empty hand. Almost there. And time. Beautiful. Whew, those reverse flies are tough. Grab some water. We have 1 set to go. All right, bringing it back in. Back to that deadlift. One minute on the clock. Here we go. Coming up nice and slow. Hinging at the hips. Nice flat back. You want your lower body doing most of the work. Halfway there. Keep breathing. Ten more seconds. And time. Excellent. All right, next up we have that push out. 1 minute. Let's go. Beautiful. Pulling it back into your chest, nice and slow. On that 3 count. And for this one, you want to try to keep your elbows pointed down so that you're engaging more of the back muscle and less of the arm muscle. Nice. Still sucking that belly button all the way back towards your spine. Keeping that core engaged. I'm definitely going to feel this in my back tomorrow. And time. Beautiful. All right, moving straight in to that tricep extension plus the calf raise. 1 minute. Here we go. Lower it down nice and slow. Up, calf raise. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Still keeping the belly button sucked in tight on this one. Keeping that core engaged. You got it. It's tempting to let your elbows flare out on this one, but you're going to get a much better tricep workout if you keep them in close to your head, right by your ears. And time. Beautiful. Set that down, shake everything out for a second, and then we're moving into that bicep curl plus overhead press with the squat hold if you want. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Good control. Work the muscle both directions. Don't let them just fall. Lower them with control the whole way. I love it. More than halfway there. Even in that squat hold, still make sure you're keeping your belly button sucked in towards your spine, keeping that core engaged. Almost there. And time. All right, shake those arms out again. We still have our reverse flies. All right. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Up and then down for 3. You got this. Make any adjustments you need to with how far you're leaning, what weight you're using. If it's really getting hard on your back, you can even go all the way down into tabletop and do the same thing with a hand on the floor for extra support. 15 more seconds. Keep breathing. And time. Shake that arm out. And then we got to do the other side. Last one, you got this. 1 minute, here we go. Nice and strong, deep breaths. Halfway there. And remember, putting it down and doing the movement empty hand still keeps that muscle engaged. Just like that, you can do it either way. Five more seconds. And time. Beautiful. All right, shake that out. Whew. Set those weights to the side, grab some water, and we have our final stretch. All right, bring it back in. From here, feet hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath in, bring your arms up overhead. And we're just gonna go ahead and fold all the way forward. Let everything just hang. Not trying to keep your back flat, not trying to work any muscles, just let everything stretch out for a minute. From here, bend your knees, roll up nice and slow. You're gonna roll your shoulders backwards 3 times, and then forward 3 times. Beautiful. From here, you're gonna bring one arm up, reach behind like you're patting yourself on the back for all that hard work you did today. And then just kind of gently pull your shoulder or your elbow over your shoulder until you feel a good stretch through that tricep. And then if it feels good from here, lean just a little bit to the side. Add in a little side body stretch. Back up to center and release. And then we're going to go to the other side. Bring that other arm up, pat yourself on the back. Stretch that tricep just a little bit, just until you feel the stretch, making sure to protect your shoulder joint. And then if it feels good, add a little side bend, stretching out that side body. Beautiful. Release, come back to center. From here, we're going to take another deep breath, bring those arms up, and fold forward again. But this time, we're going to walk our hands around to one side. And again, get a little stretch through your side body. If it feels good, you can bend your knee and kind of stretch into it just a little bit more. And then straighten that leg, walk your hands back through center and to the other side. Your goal here is to reach a point where you feel a stretch through that side body. For me, I come all the way around to a little bit past horizontal there, past my foot, but you go to wherever you feel a stretch. And then again, if it feels good, bend that back knee so that you feel even a little more stretch. And then straighten that knee, walk those hands through center. From here, we're going to sink down into a squat. Use your elbows, push those knees out just a little bit. Rock a little bit side to side into the hip flexors. Nice. And then plant those hands. Come all the way back up. Roll up nice and slow. And you are all done. Fantastic job today. I will see you again next week, Tuesday night. And I hope you had a good class.